Hi everyone. Hopefully we're streaming again.
Yeah, just wait for it.
Yeah, sorry guys, we've been having some technical issues with the new studio setup, so we're trying to get this set up again. This is not fun, but okay.
Okay, I've got audio on my end.
Okay, so we're good and going.
I'm waiting for Chris to refresh to determine. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Glad to hear that. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, technical difficulties abound. Welcome to Simulacra Studios presents Vampire the Masquerade Burn It Down. We're gone after a month and after some technical difficulties, but I'm your storyteller, Scott, and these are all my lovely players, so I'd like to let them introduce themselves.
Hi, everyone. I'm McKenna. I play everyone's favorite Gangrel, Cadence. She's here to fuck shit up. Hooray.
Hey everybody, my name is James Davey. I'm playing everybody's least favorite Malkavian. His name is Alex, and he's just trying his best, you guys.
He's doing all right.
Hi, it's me, Monique, and I'm going to be playing Willow tonight. And she cares very much about everyone's least favorite Malkavian, Alex.
Hey guys, I'm Dylan. I'm playing Madison, professional cat herder by trade. I'm the Ventrue in the squad, and I don't know if I'm ever anyone's least or most favorite anything. I don't think people have strong emotional feelings.
We wouldn't be able to get anything done without you.
You're reliable.
Yeah, the ultimate Japanese compliment.
Indeed. But anyway, so we've been gone for a bit, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. It's been 2 nights since last you guys were up and about, and we are coming into scene in a place in Kirkwood, which is roughly 2 districts away from your normal territory. Mm-hmm. It's not in, it's Anarch territory, but no one really has a stake in it. It's a pretty lively area, so to date you haven't been able to necessarily figure out why no one has really put strong roots in here. Mm-hmm. But you are currently in a small but very well appointed cultural arts center and community outreach place called Wonder Root. It has a lot of street art and art made by disadvantaged youths who have been specifically sought out and cultivated to help with their artistic expression and maybe get some money flowing into the community from art sales. So it's kind of a combination art gallery and craft space and community outreach center. Madison has rented this place out for the evening because it was the best place that you could find to have a meeting with a kindred who contacted Cadence via dominated mortal who she quickly ate. Not all the way. But he basically informed her to name a time and a place because they had matters to discuss. So you have the place to yourself for the most part. There is one person still here. She's a stocky, handsome woman who's just sitting at a desk. And Madison, as far as you understood, your arrangement with these people was that you would have this place to yourself. But this woman is showing no signs of leaving. She's just there with a book and a cell phone, just sort of manning her post. It's about 10:20 in the evening, about 10 minutes before your guest is supposed to arrive.
He's just going to glance at the other 3 at first and then kind of like indicate that person with his eyes.
Like she clearly works here. Like this is.
Yeah, he would still assume that there's a chance that someone else is responsible.
No.
No, nobody.
Alex is just going to kind of look over at you and glassy-eyed shrug. Maybe.
Is that like our security guard? What's the deal?
There shouldn't be anybody else here. I'm just going to go ask her. Madison is just gonna walk right over there.
This is why we can't do anything without you.
Yeah, she takes maybe a couple of seconds, maybe to finish the sentence that she was reading, and then just sort of looks up at you slightly because she's sitting and you're standing.
Hey, sorry to bother you, but my understanding from the arrangement I've made with this facility is that we would have a private access to the facility this evening.
She's like, yeah, that I believe that was the understanding that I see here on the information, but I'm gonna stick around.
Right? Why?
She kind of just has the slightest grin on her face as she just sort of looks you up and down, clearly sizing you up. She says, So is this like your turf that we're in? Is this like your area of town?
At least for tonight it is.
Really?
Well, from there, he points to the exit door. To there, he points to the farthest wall he can see. Is mine right now.
She very slowly, not really, not in any hostile manner. She says, "It's yours in that I'm letting you use it."
So you're the proprietor?
Of sorts. When she stands, you notice something a little bit odd about her, in that on her hip, sort of in a custom leather frog, is a hammer, like a carpenter's hammer. It's just sort of hanging there, and she says, "This place is mine, and I let you do your business here. But I wanted to let you know that you're never, ever allowed to come back here unless specifically invited. The people who come here, the kids, the workers, they're not for you."
I see. I believe there may be some misunderstandings at play. I respect your concern for the people who make up the workforce of this establishment. I hear your message loud and clear. I'll make sure to pay first and call ahead.
This is call ahead, and we'll see if you can pay.
Can I make some sort of roll to see if I can identify that? The hammer is obviously symbolic. Like, is she a mason? Not a mason, but a mason. Like,
give me a wits craft roll.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I roll 0 dice.
I can make that roll.
I'm just not gonna make that roll.
You should have some wits.
Yes, but I have no craft.
Never mind. I don't either.
Well, you can make the roll. It doesn't subtract anything if you make.
Okay. Then
you
I'll
just
roll
straight wits.
2 dice.
I believe in
Hey,
it.
I got a success.
Hey.
Yay!
You don't notice anything. Nothing particularly pings in terms of like symbolism, but you do note that it's not a branded hammer. It bears no signs of machine making. It looks handmade, hand forged.
That's a very impressive piece of equipment. Did you make it?
She says, "A friend did."
I see. Your friend must be very skilled.
You have no idea. I'm not going to interfere with what you have here. I know the person you're here to meet. But there's no chance in hell that I'm going to let anything go down in my establishment without at least an eye on it.
I think that's quite reasonable. And if we have any future engagements, I would encourage you to bring this sort of concern up during the planning phase. You'll find that I, at least, am quite understanding of multidisciplinary and multicultural concerns about security.
Yeah.
Scott,
yeah.
while they're having this conversation, Cadence is just gonna do a quick sense the beast on this chick, make sure she's not
Okay.
Kindred or Guru.
Go ahead and make that roll.
Okay, that is resolve plus animalism, which is still great.
You know off the top of your head what the resistance roll for that is?
Composure and subterfuge.
Okay. She has a lot of 1. Almost.
And that's 3 successes.
Come on, girl.
You definitely sense something. It's not a beast in a kindred or Garu sense, but your beast reacts to it in a way that it at the same time wants to challenge what it's sensing, but also is incredibly wary because it can't get you or your beast can't get a read on what it's sensing.
Okay. So at this point, she's probably just been sort of staring out the window, waiting for whoever they're supposed to meet to show up. And then she looks over, does the thing, and because she has no tact, she's gonna be like, so you're gonna tell us what the fuck you are?
Oh my god, you can't just ask people what they are, Cadence.
When she does that, Alex is going to grab both of the strings of his hood and pull them slowly until only his nose is visible.
Alex, I'd actually like you to sense the unseen for me, please.
I'm just making this face.
All right, hold on.
I mean, what did you expect?
He just looks over at Cadence and then looks back at the woman like.
I got 3 successes on that.
Okay.
What are you gonna do?
Alex, you have when you're sort of when you tense up and your mind goes into overdrive mode, as it were. You have this bizarre sensation of double vision. You see the woman as you were seeing her, but occupying the same space. You see her, but 9 foot tall, blue, with curving horns on her head, and the hammer at her side is a gigantic maul.
I get it.
And like, Scott, I'll leave it up to you. Being a DJ in Atlanta, would I have ever run into a troll before?
They tend to follow around. Like
you would see I wouldn't say specifically a troll, but that there are things out there that defy your expectation, that tend to flock to your community.
More to the point, would I have ever drank changeling blood before, being that I'm an addict?
If you had, it would be very hard to distinguish it from a really just intense drug trip, based on your
preferences.
Okay, so I'm going to go with, I have a vague idea of what this is, but I also have a vague idea that it will kill the dog shit out of all of us.
Yeah, and the rest of you see Alex, like, as he's like pulling his hoodie, you just see like his neck go up and looking into the space above her.
And I sink down into the chair, and my shoulders scrunch in like I am making myself as small as possible. Oh no!
And as this happens, she says, "What I am is the boss around here. Now, if we need to make this a thing, there's a place out back where we can."
Oh no, I was just clearly, you know what we are. I just wanted to,
no,
professional curiosity, I guess.
It's great. Everything is great. We are so grateful that you allowed us to hang out in your space. We promise that we won't return here unless you have given us official invitation in the future. I apologize for the bluntness of my friends. You understand that they're not quite as civilized as I. Please, everyone, shut the hell up and let's do what we need to do. Thanks.
He's like, you should listen to your friend here. I'm going to go back to reading my book, and then we'll be fine, okay?
Whatever.
Sure.
She sits down and pulls her book out and goes back to where she was reading.
I sort of like
What?
look over at Madison like are we in the right place? Like, this is aggressive. Weren't we invited?
Well, I'm certainly going to ask for 10% back.
So is this like the best place that like we found?
This is still the best place, and given
I mean-
how culturally significant it is, I'm not surprised that somebody cherishes it as much as this individual seems to.
Like, I mean, if this is going to be like a problem.
I don't think it's going to be a problem.
So Cadence,
Yeah.
while you're keeping your awareness up and sort of trying to scope out things, you notice that out the window outside, you see a heavy fog just sort of roll in across the street outside.
Hey guys, shit's happening.
What's up?
Fog. Like, obviously, like, not natural fog. Just giving you a heads up.
Is
Dude's
that
probably here.
so? That's on aesthetic.
Yeah.
Okay.
While they're sort of chatting, I am googling World of Warcraft Draenei female warrior and finding the scariest looking version of that I can and texting them a picture of all of it.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Big blue people with horns.
So yeah, the fog rolls up, and a few moments later, there is sort of a staccato rapping on the door to the establishment.
Cadence will get it.
The door opens up, and a little bit of fog just sort of rolls in, and you see a very tall, thin person dressed in a long black London fog coat. They have a top hat, a healthy amount of black hair going down to about their shoulders, very small small framed glasses, and a cane, and some very dapper looking, probably custom tailored, very formal looking clothes on, and they are incredibly pale.
Cadence is
text-
gonna. Oh,
I'm sorry. I just text the whole group. They're a very dramatic group of people.
So are we.
Cadence is gonna look this person up and down with like the biggest like, "Are you for flipping real?" look on her face. She's gonna look up at him or them and just be like, "So you're the one who sent the letter?"
He's like, I am, and he sort of looks past you for a moment, and is actually looking over to the woman at the desk, and just sort of gets eye contact with her, and she gives him a very curt nod, and then he walks in and says, yes, that is me. You may refer to me as Monsieur Filon.
Okay.
This is, if you don't mind, we do of course have business to go over, but there are some formalities that I must obey.
Okay.
Briefest moment. And he walks over to the woman, and she stands up, and they walk briskly around the facility, actually pausing maybe about 3 seconds to look at every piece of art in the facility. If anyone wants to roll me a wits etiquette roll real quick.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Do I even
You're giving
have
me all kind of good rolls tonight.
If I have no, of course I didn't put any points into etiquette.
Never mind
not-
me either. Me and Cadence.
I got 4 successes.
I also got 4
Nice.
successes.
Look how
So-
couth they are.
Madison and Alex, you recognize that they're going through some sort of formal ritual, and you don't know the nitty gritty of it, but it's the kind of formalities that people who would usually rip the skulls off one another go through in order so that they don't have to do that. But they do a very brisk walk around the facility. They loop back to a piece of art, a painting, a very pretty large painting. The figure gives it about 10 more seconds appraisal, goes into a satchel that he has, and pulls out probably a 5-inch stack of bills, and hands it to the woman. And she pulls a little sold tag off and puts it on the painting. And then, without a word or a gesture, she goes back to her table, picks up her book, and he comes back and sits with you in the sort of center conversation area that this facility has. He says, "Pardon me for that. It's something that must be done."
I texted
Oh.
the group. He's paying her for the inconvenience of us being here.
But I paid for that. He responds on the text.
She's getting double paid today.
Someone's
I don't appreciate double booking. Send.
I respond, the spirit of entrepreneurship.
And Madison will sit after the guest sits.
He says, "Thank you so very much for assenting to this meeting."
So what do you want?
He says,
Oh.
"Well, there are a number of items that I have to resolve with the lot of you."
Mm-hmm.
So would you like to start hitting the high points, or would you like to go down the list sequentially?
We can go in the order that is most convenient. He actually pulls out from his satchel a very well created leather ledger, and he
Oh.
opens it up, and he says, "So the first item, the most pressing item, the item that has the most contingencies attached to it, is a matter of prestation."
The fuck does that mean?
Boons.
He kind
Oh.
of he just kind of smiles and sort of nods very slightly over to Madison, sort of grateful that he didn't have to explain that. And he says, "Yes, actually, Madam Cadence is actually a boon that you are involved in."
Okay.
He says, "It is marked that you owe a minor boon to one Evan Rivers, Primijon of the Bruja clan."
Yeah, that guy.
That actually counted?
Oh, it most
Because
certainly-
he did the thing before I actually agreed to do the thing.
I have some notes regarding that. According to his account, he discovered that you had an intention of starting trouble to specifically gain the notice of the sheriff. And
When was
that
this, Cadence?
This was when we were making a distraction so you could go play kidnap up in the
and he just kind of smiles at that.
Madison has just picked a painting and is staring at it like.
He says, he actually makes a note, and he says, "Ah, yes, that is actually the crux of the matter, because according to Mr. Richards, and we have verified this, the arrangement made was that it would be a minor boon if you simply had him do what you wish to do. But you would have had to tell him why you were doing it. It would be a major boon if he would be without that information.
And I never said I wanted him to do the thing. He went and did it of his own volition. It was an offer that was made, and I never said yes or no.
Is that your official stance on this?
That's damn well how I remember it.
Because he says that you proceeded to give him a reason why you were doing it. A reason that he believes was not entirely truthful.
What reason does he say did he say I gave?
He said that you were there to blow off some steam and get into a fight with some deputies for some form of emotional catharsis. Now, this contradicts what he suspects, given what you just said. That confirms it. That you were, it was in fact part of some distraction ploy.
Well, the way I see it is I got into a beef the sheriff like a week in to being in this stupid fucking city, and I wanted to send a message to said sheriff that I'm not afraid to mess with him or his lackeys.
That was the context, at least the version that you said why you were doing it. Understand, I am but a middleman in this.
So
there
what
is no
is
passion here.
Okay, so what is your piece in this? Why do you fucking care?
Yeah, are you a mediator? What's the deal?
Like, are you acting on behalf of the cam? Are you acting on behalf of someone else? Like, what's your deal? Like, what the fuck do you have to do with all this?
I belong to a society that is recent in its inauguration in Kindred Society.
Madison looks back at this juncture.
But one of our milieus is the facilitation and organization of boons betwixt the more established sects. And I have been contracted in this matter, as this is a dispute of prestation betwixt sect members.
Okay.
Regardless, he has essentially made a claim that the arrangement was made in bad faith, that you had other reasons that you stated for having him perform this service for you.
I ask you this. Does my explanation that I gave to him need to be mutually exclusive from what I just told you? Could not the two actions, fucking with the sheriff, be one and the same?
They could be.
Yeah.
But there is another matter, another suspicion that he has informed me that he has not conveyed to anyone outside of his own coterie. That there was another incident that night that he believes is related, involving the extraction of a prisoner from the incarceration of the sheriff, a captured Sabbat.
Well,
What?
He says that happened, from what he can piece together, it happened simultaneously. And
Okay.
that it is very suspicious that you were engaged in maneuvers to draw away the forces of enforcement of the Camarilla.
Can I?
While both your, I believe, let me look at this, kidnapping operation that you said. Is that right, Miss Walsh? Is that...
Not quite, but all
I
right.
would,
That's what
I
you
would
said.
consider it a humanitarian rescue, but I don't think you really care about the morality of it. We're here to talk about law.
Not in the slightest, no.
Right.
But
Well-
yes, there was that, and then there was the extraction of this Sabbat prisoner. And as I mentioned, he wishes to convey that he has not shared this suspicion that any of that matter is related. He is simply making the claim that you were not entirely honest to the degree that the clause discussed would mean that you in fact owe him a major boon.
All right.
So he's
well,
trying to take it from a low claim to a high claim, like after
Yes.
the fact.
And-
I wasn't aware that that's how that worked. I figured the terms that you spoke about at the time, that was it.
He is
So-
saying,
can I? Can I?
Oh my god.
Since this
ridiculous.
is my thing. Sorry, guys.
No, it's
so-
okay. It's just Cam bullshit.
Yeah, no, it's Cam bullshit. So that same night, my friend Willow here was up.
Don't bring me into this. He's taking you to claim for what you did. He did a favor for you.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Anything else has nothing to do, and anything you say right now will be used to incriminate you later. I'm telling you right now. Like there's no arguing about that.
Cadence, would you allow me to ask a couple of questions of the
Fucking
gentleman?
fine. Sure, this is your bag anyway.
he says, this is getting a little heated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me
Cadence is very
reiterate.
passionate.
I understand. Let me reiterate. I am but a stand between.
Of
I
course.
have no stake in this other than the facilitation of prestation. That being said, would you all mind terribly if I were to let my hair down a little?
Go ahead.
Whatever
Alex,
fucking suits you, dude.
Alex hands Cadence one of his earbuds. He's clearly got one in his ear, and he hands her one.
She,
He straightens his posture a little bit.
Cadence will
def-
plop that in.
His
It's
top
trip
hat.
hop.
Lifts his top hat. And a number of things happen simultaneously. He grows about 3 feet.
Yep.
His skin goes from pale to porcelain. His eyes go completely black. And
Mm.
like a waterfall, the hair goes from shoulder length to about hip length. And takes on an absolute inky quality to it. And he says, "Oh, thank you."
Of course.
Now,
So
I know what you
I
are.
I want to go ahead and cut to the heart of this. You're obviously a professional. I happen to know a little something about this as well. So let's just get right down to the bone and the marrow. What you're essentially getting at is that the individual you're representing would like us to concede that the clause under which this boon would be considered a major boon rather than a minor boon has been fulfilled, and in conceding so, close the issue moving forward. Is that my understanding?
that is his understanding with the, let's say, the hanging principle of this additional fact of the extracted Sabbat person hanging over the affair.
I can understand his suspicions, given that we are not members of the Camarilla, but even in the Camarilla, that level of circumstantial evidence isn't really permissible, is it?
Yes. However, I'm led to believe that your own city laws, your baronical edicts, state that any collaboration with the Sabbat is punishable up to exile from the city. So I believe he might be leveraging the fact that, well,
Oh, I see. He's threatening to try to convince Baron Tran of this link, this conspiracy that he's seeing. I understand. Where
that
you're
would be a
getting at.
reasonable supposition. He did not detail out his entire plans. He merely
Of course.
wanted me to let you know that that was in the air.
Well, the fact of the matter is, we didn't extract the fucking Sabbat.
That is neither here nor there.
If anything would have happened during that time period, it could be pinned on us. We're not associated with them. We're not in their circles. It's easy.
Okay, let's as they say, let's be 100 about this right now. All 5 of us. the reality of it is it's going to be a pain in the ass to deal with Baron Tran following through with this suspicion, because he's going to have to, because of the notions of due process, look into this and badger us and waste all of our fucking time when we have a lot of things we need to be working on in the coming weeks. And unfortunately, from a legalistic perspective, Cadence, I think the man has a point.
I was told, and this was my understanding of our activities that night going in, was that I was to cause as much beef as I could with the sheriff's deputies, because we, as a group, fucking hate the sheriff's guts.
Yeah.
And we were all being in separate areas of the city that night, nowhere fucking near wherever their main headquarters is.
Yeah.
We're going to mess with him in our own ways. Okay? That was what I agreed to. And why I agreed to it was because I wanted to cause him some major fucking grief.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
The way I see it, I was completely truthful, and Mr. Rivers is still a douche for going and pulling this when I never actually agreed to a fucking boon.
Did you guys shake on it, or what? Was it?
No!
Was it just
He
like he suggested you do it?
He suggested it, and then before I could acquiesce or not, fucking shit went down with the East Street boys. They started causing shit, and before I know it, he's made the call anyway.
So you didn't agree to it?
No!
It's probably not what he says, but I guess so.
Yeah, well, yeah, no. Our very tall friend over here just said that's not what he said.
Kidding.
So it seems that the core contradiction between the two testimonies is that Cadence seems to remember not being the individual to initiate the conflict at the Fellow's domicile, and the Primogen in question does remember her being the one to initiate the conflict. Is that correct?
This is, as I have been informed, Cadence and a number of other Anarch gentlemen showed up and became increasingly hostile. And Primogen Rivers almost rose to the bait, but then he was able to divine from Cadence's demeanor and certain inconsistencies in her statements that she was in fact there specifically to draw the attention of the sheriff's deputies to that location. At which point he stated that he would do so for a boon, with the stipulations discussed. And then he proceeded to do so.
And I never said yes. There was never an agreement. There was a suggestion, and then he went and took some very annoying initiative. Now, if he wants a minor boon, I'm happy to give him a minor boon just to get him off my fucking ass. But
he claims he already has a minor boon from you.
He just wants to escalate it into a major boon.
No, like, he hasn't called in his boon yet. If he wants me to fucking do it, just give me something and I'll fucking do it. He hasn't asked anything yet.
If I might, I'm not well versed on Khmeria law, obviously. However, is this normal behavior to agree on something and then based on, I don't know, sort
repercussions?
Your perception of how that thing that you agreed upon went, demand further remuneration? That seems...
That would normally be very gauche, but the man is claiming that there was a clause attached to the boon in under which circumstances the boon would be considered of a different denomination, and that is something that there is some precedent for.
Yeah, specifically that it would be minor if Cadence were forthcoming regarding the reasons for her desire to have the deputies caused, and major if she wished to keep those reasons to herself. And he believes that the reasons that she gave were a smokescreen at best. given what else happened on that evening, some directly by her coterie mates and some by unknown individuals.
I will say this. I can assure you that Cadence's motivation was absolutely and personally malicious.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
Sheriff and I, we're tight in the absolute worst of ways.
There
could,
can
in
be more
fact-
than one reason.
Yeah, exactly. And if the stipulation was that if she were to provide the reason, first of all, that's a little linguistically unfortunate on his part. Frankly, I'd expect better from a Primogen not to assume singularity of reason when, as you so wisely point out, there can be multiple motivations, some commingled and some unrelated for a given action. I think
Madison, arguing this point with me is not productive.
It is,
This-
however, because
So
what I'm alleging is that the clause itself is not logically coherent.
My
Or-
business here is to determine whether or not you, well, Cadence specifically, but if you're acting collectively, whether or not you are agreeing with his contestation of this matter or opposing it. Whether
I see. You're not
So
here to
we're-
judgment. You're not here to act as a judgment, as a judge. You're here to act
Serving
as a
as papers.
messenger.
as a facilitator, yes.
I see.
No.
Well,
Cadence, I think you should give him the major boon.
are you for real?
I am for real.
And that's your legal advice. Yeah.
That is
100%.
as your anarch attorney, that is my advice to you.
Now
Okay.
morally I'm against it, but you just
fact
you
of the
don't
matter-
think that we're going to be able to contest it successfully without
I
more
think
trouble.
I think the differential in the value of a minor and a major boon to this guy is smaller compared to the pain in the ass it's going to be to deal with his veiled threat. That's what I'm saying, Cadence.
Fine. He gets his fucking major boon and then he regrets it.
I see. He notes it down on the ledger.
Yeah.
says,
Tell him
That-
yes with a frowny face emoji.
Oh, most
Yeah.
certainly.
Yeah, I'll lick his boots and then shove him up his ass.
That leads into our next point, actually, a bit of, as I mentioned, contingency. I am to inform you that there is essentially an issuance of transference that the major boon owed to you by Primogen Douglas Netchurch is now owed to Primogen Evan Rivers.
So his payment is he wants the boon from.
owed to us from Dr. Netchurch.
Yes.
Okay, so what basically he gets a major boon, we have a major boon, we give him that one, and then we have no boon.
Yes.
So he's asking for a nullification of the two boons. That's what you're getting at.
He's informing you.
He's informing that he's calling in the major boon to demand that we transfer Dr. Netchurch's major boon to him. Is that correct?
I understand that Dr. Netchurch has already agreed to this.
Oh shit.
But we are the
okay.
holders of that prestation. So unless he is calling in that major boon, which I will point out is to Cadence and not to the coterie as a whole.
This is, if you wish to contest the transference, that is within your rights.
Okay,
What I'm
honestly, never
asking-
mind, that's a lot fucking better. It means I can wash my fucking hands of the entire thing.
I'm not giving away a major boon for free. This is a bit absurd, frankly. If he is asking, or in fact commanding, Cadence to convince us to allow that boon which we possess to be transferred from us to him.
My notes say that that boon is owed to Cadence.
Specifically.
Yeah, it was regards, I don't have the full details. It was regards to an examination that she consented to.
Okay.
That is
yeah.
hers. Okay, yeah.
So then what I'm asking, and this is what I believe is the intention here, is that the Bruja Primogen is calling in the major boon that he now possesses after our previous negotiation over Cadence, and the service that he is demanding of that major boon is the transference of Dr. Netchurch's boon to the Bruja Primogen.
Big
That
old
is
game of
one-
hot potato.
That is one way to put it.
If that is the case, then Cadence, I would recommend that you agree that that's a reasonable
Yeah.
ask for a major boon. If he's asking that you just give it away, I would tell him to shove it up his ass.
Yeah.
No, like if I can just get myself as far away from other. It is not worth it dealing with those pansy-ass cami bastards. Okay?
All right.
And
so
that is an assent to the transference?
No. That's not what she said.
is
Does
I mean, do you
difference
agree,
matter?
Cadence? Or...
I would advise you, Cadence, to say that you agree to fulfill the major boon you owe in assenting to the transference.
Yeah,
And
say
that
it
if
very
that-
specifically.
If that is the understanding between you and the Primogen, then I think that's a great idea.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I agree to fulfill my major boon to Evan Rivers, who is a bitch. I would like that duly noted.
Love
Is a bitch?
Oh my god, yes.
by transferring Dr. Netchurch's boon, which is owed to me, to him.
There we go.
He crosses something off. Excellent.
That
So
gets
the-
the Ventrue seal of approval, Cadence. Good job.
Oh my
You
God, I
Sometimes
keep
you just
doing
have to
this.
say it aloud, you know what
You're
I mean?
infected now.
next item that I have
Next item.
Wait,
is
there's more.
oh yes, there's 5 items.
We're really
my
popular,
God.
Alex.
It is simply the confirmation of the major boon owed to you by Priski Sashivaikos.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah.
Hold on. Backtrack for a second. I know that sometimes I'm borderline unconscious, but what the fuck?
Oh, I played her.
No, that is
Yes. That's
not
exactly what happened.
He says, "I do not need to hear this. By the
Yeah.
way,
Yeah, no, really, we don't have to
Uh,
discuss anything in
The
front of
boon's
him.
real. Check it off. Next item.
This is, for the penultimate item is something of a request from my organization. A very simple one. Is there something that we can refer to your coterie as a collective and a name that I can put down in the ledger?
Damn it. We've been talking about this for fucking months.
Yeah, we really
I think we
have.
decided to go with Alex and the Rockettes, didn't we?
That
No,
is
that
definitely
is
not
not.
what
Please
Yeah,
happened.
don't write that
defi-
down.
no.
Please don't write that
Thought
down.
that
No.
I thought that we had
No. When?
No.
When,
the other night.
Alex?
The other nights when you were all passed out on the couch and I decided on that name.
Wait, was this in my bedroom when we were unpacking?
Anyway,
the pen is hovering above the ledger.
No.
anyone have any ideas?
Anyways.
The fuck shit up squad. I don't know.
Oh,
No.
don't,
No.
please.
No, hold on.
No.
We're going to Google random band name.
No, don't use a fucking name generator off the internet for our coterie, Alex.
Those are a
Our
thing.
coterie, It's
Yes, that
really
definitely
great.
is. And they are good, and they can be good for inspiration, but we're not taking one off of a generator.
I'm just saying that. Hold on. Before you make that decision, we're gonna hold on. Write me some band names. Let's just take a look. Oh, those are bad.
Well, if we're all from out of town, right? Why don't we use that as a jumping off point?
Out of towners. Well, too, like, isn't Alex is from here? Well, he's
Yeah.
English.
Ye-
He says, "This is merely a request. It does not need to be fulfilled."
We'll
It-
get
it's
back
not
to you.
being fulfilled. No,
So-
not
so
today.
We'll get back to you.
Just to be clear,
it-
greasy apple footballers is out.
No.
Okay.
no.
All right. I was trying.
That an anagram?
He says, like, it simply cleans up the books in case that we need future dealings. The final item in my list is to inform you that you have a message from the Monitor of Atlanta.
The who?
What?
A member of your organization?
No, that is the long and short of our business. Unless
Wait,
you have
a
anything-
message from what? I legit did not catch what you said.
The Monitor of Atlanta is what the gentleman said.
Like a hall
Ah.
monitor.
If anyone would like to roll intelligence occult for me,
I think I'll do that.
All right, let me see if I can
have
even
some
try that.
occult. I have
I'm not going
two
to bother.
I'm
Yeah,
a smart boy.
I'm very smart, but I have 0 occult, so I feel uncomfortable making that roll.
Yeah.
Cadence might know. Cadence might know. Cadence just got 4 successes.
okay. So Cadence, you actually recognize that title. Monitor is the only title known to outsiders of a sect known as the Incarnu, which are real old, real isolationist kindred who not a lot is known about at all. And the only you will anything that's ever known is if you see one of them, they're called a monitor, and that's probably all you'll ever do is see them.
I really want to know how she came into knowledge of that information now, because...
You think your sire might have mentioned it? At
Okay,
some point?
alrighty, because I'm thinking, wow, that's not what she invested in a cult for.
Like
but...
along the lines, if you ever see one of these guys, take note of it, and but don't mess with them at all.
Okay.
I got 3. Do I also know this?
You've heard that that's a title that's out there, but it's not associated with any Cam or Anarch or Sabat that you know of. But you have heard mention of kindred who go by the title Monder. And he says, yeah, so that concludes our business.
Thank fucking Christ.
Do you have a card or something so I can get back with you if we need your services and or when we decide on a name?
This is most certainly. He goes in and pulls out a old style Victorian calling card.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna give him one of my new style Vistaprint calling cards.
But wait a second. Wait a second. Is the message that we have a message, or?
My business is to inform you that the Monitor of Atlanta has a message for you.
They probably want us to prove ourselves in finding them.
He says, now, I could facilitate contact.
How much?
How many boons do you want?
He says, do you possess any mystical tomes or secrets, artifacts of enchanted quality?
Nope.
Is that a fucking... Okay.
Because everyone else knows at this point, Cadence pops her claws. I'll roll the rouse check for that.
Oh my god.
What are you doing? You're just gonna show it to everyone?
Yes.
Everyone fucking knows now.
Look
like
at my face!
The cat's out of the bag. And that's a failure, so she's hungrier. She's like, I got fancy magic claws. They're not like an artifact and they're kind of attached to me, but you can take a look if you want.
He kind of...
It scares me every time.
I know.
He actually, like, he scoots his chair back like an inch. And he says, no, thank you.
Okay.
I guess that didn't count. Sorry, Cadence, your fancy.
Damn it.
No, so Alex immediately starts sitting forward and rapidly texting, and I'm going to put in chat what he texts.
Oh god, I'm ready.
What? Well, you should say it so the people on the stream know.
I think he wants an authentic reaction.
No, I didn't necessarily want to interrupt the flow, but he sits forward and he types, yeah, these guys can't be around certain kinds of metal because they're fairies. But they're also vampires. It's a thing, I think.
Cadence looks at her phone. Oh, sorry.
This is, it may seem ironic that I'm reluctant to trade in simple boons, but my tastes and requirements are incredibly specific. So there's unlikely to be anything generally that you could offer me.
Do you accept photocopies?
Depends upon the
You are not photocopying that,
item.
Cadence. Quit it, Cadence. You are not.
He
You're not
says-
photocopying that.
Why not?
That's
He comes forward about 2 more inches in response. He says, you have something that can be photocopied. A text, perhaps?
super not supposed to talk about it. It's for you. don't photocopy very important documents. Cadence.
You have me undeniably intrigued.
I mean, I don't have a.
We would have to ask for a lot more favors to even consider it.
Are you and I talking about the same thing?
Yes, we're all talking about the same thing. The thing you received the other night.
I will give you a
From
trivial
friends.
boon simply to know.
At this
Okay, that
point,
depends. Are you
I'm
going to
almost
tell
ready.
anyone else?
No.
Like,
Hold out for more. It is very important.
I need to know that you're
about-
promising. You're going to promise not to tell anyone else.
I-
boy.
I will put upon the table a trivial boon for the mere knowledge of the title and general content of the text that you are referring to.
Okay, that might be good enough.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine by me.
With the stipulation that the boon includes you not talking to anybody else about it.
Yes.
Certainly.
What?
Like, and Scott, if I mess this up, it's been a while, but I believe McKenna believes that Cadence now has like a beat up copy of the Revelations of the Dark Mother, right?
Yeah.
Okay, she's gonna be like, some Dark Mother thing about Lilith. I forget what it's called.
Revelations of the Dark Mother.
Yeah, that what she said.
This is
We've come into a
Interesting.
copy. We stole a copy.
No, it was
What?
what?
he
What-
smiles.
wh-
This
what-
is
What?
It is. I would be interested in a photocopy of that. However, I do have a copy. My interest would be in seeing if there are any discrepancies with what I have. So I would, in my approximation, such a thing, photocopies of your text would be worth facilitating contact or go between this individual.
It's up to you, Cadence.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Where the fuck did you get that?
Shut up.
You don't know everything about me.
I know, that's why I'm asking.
Did you
we're
We'll
not gonna
talk about it later.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but did you say you stole it from someone?
Doesn't matter.
We're not talking about it right now.
Doesn't
Can we
matter.
talk about it in the
Doesn't
car?
matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll talk to it later. I'm sure this guy's very bored with our banter right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
He indicates the calling card that he has, and it has a PO box on it.
Oh yeah, love that.
Mhm.
And he says, "At your leisure. What is the content of the communication or facilitation that you would like me to provide?"
Let's meet him. You guys just want to
meeting.
meet up with him?
I can convey your desire for a meeting. I
And
cannot
if
guarantee-
they decline the meeting, then
Like
at
a
least
letter.
get permission from, or get them to send us the message.
I believe I can arrange for that. Understand that an actual conveyed request bears a lot more weight than simply you wanting to meet. So it will be what it is worth, and I will certainly attempt to procure said message.
Sure.
Cool.
Very well. My time with you draws to a close. Thank you oh so very much.
Yeah, we have to go talk in the car. So this was
By
great.
all
I'm
means.
very
He,
glad.
he readjusts his posture and he resumes his somewhat normal-looking visage. Stands, brushes off his shoulders.
Madison will also stand and offer a handshake.
He will very delicately touch your hand and make a motion with it, but not actually shake it.
That's fine.
And
Good
then
enough.
with a rod. His skin feels weird. Like there's something off about it.
Nah.
And then he nods to the woman behind the desk, turns, picks up his satchel, and heads out the door.
All right. Well, I guess we're done.
Yeah, that was nice. That was productive. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking miserable.
Yeah.
So I want to go back for a moment to
Okay.
you stole it from someone.
Okay, let's talk in the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Madison's gonna go over to the lady and be like, "We're we're gonna go ahead and go. We're done with the place for the evening.
Good.
We
I will
appreciate
start.
your hospitality, and I apologize if we gave off the wrong.
Nothing that wasn't expected.
Yeah. Anyway,
As long as we have our understanding.
I think this place is lovely, and the last thing I would want to do is harm it or anyone here. To be quite honest with you.
Good.
I'm gonna go and start up the car and
Have a good night.
You guys exit. The door is
Mhm.
very clearly locked behind you.
cool.
And yeah, you guys can get to, I believe, well, if Willow's driving, Willow's driving.
Yeah, I'm driving. We didn't steal it. It was gifted.
Yeah, no, your friend gave it to us. I don't know. Willow was very clear that we stole it. I was just gonna say we found it.
I didn't
Oh,
want him to
It's a
listen.
smoke
The
screen.
guy talks to people.
Yeah.
The guy talks to everybody. Every
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was very obviously. Oh no, we stole it. That was very obviously a cover.
Nah, I think Alex and I seem surprised enough that it's good.
Okay.
So
I was
I
genuinely
actually-
because I thought you stole it.
I actually have a question real quick.
Sure.
Has Cadence read any of that document yet?
She's probably skimmed it.
Okay.
Like she hasn't had it for that long, so
A couple
probably
night or
skimmed.
so.
Yeah, skim the first couple chapters, but hasn't like had a time to actually sit down with it, especially
Okay.
because she's like, "Oh my god, books."
So
There's
not enough time to actually form any kind of opinion about the content.
Not yet, no.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, where are you guys headed back to? You guys have secured a new communal haven. As we discussed, it is basically a small warehouse
With a speakeasy.
with a genuine 1920s speakeasy. That's
so good.
it's odd. Now when you've gotten your hands on the place, you haven't had much time to really go over the place with a fine-tooth comb, but there are a couple of facts that sort of stand out from a cursory explanation. The warehouse itself is completely stripped. Like there's no features or furnishings or anything like that. It's basically sort of a blank slate that you guys can rebuild as you see fit. The speakeasy is, as best you can tell, the genuine article from the 1920s. However, it appears to have been maintained, but it seemed to have fallen out of repair in the last 10 years or so. So it's been abandoned for about 10 years, as best as you can tell. And there are a number of rooms going off the speakeasy area that are absolute perfect places for sleeping throughout the day.
Good haven.
Good haven.
So right now we're still kind of like moving in. We're still like assembling IKEA furniture because all of ours burned to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll take us there after, and then from there people can go and do what they have to do, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, you can go in. The place, like, it has the security arrangements are very good. It's a very well hidden entrance to the speakeasy basement level. Nothing that can't be improved upon, but as a baseline, it's pretty secure and well hidden. And the room, like I said, yeah, the rooms are pretty rudimentary at this point, and you're in the process of furnishing it. But you have the speakeasy area itself has some old couches in it, so it's a place where you can sit and talk. So
I'm already ordering furniture for it. I'm actually doing a lot of furniture shopping right now because I've bought a house. And at this point, it's been a couple days, and so I think I'm probably having people move stuff in right now and do the pre-move-in maintenance on the thing.
Right.
So a lot of furniture is being bought right now. It's on its way, and I'm getting a beanbag chair. Again, I need it emotionally.
So yeah, so you guys are back at your haven in a place of quiet security.
Well, that's one thing down, I guess.
Oh God.
How do you do this, Madison? How is that the world that you live in? Like, I would go absolutely fucking insane.
It's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, most people would, myself included.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that we were able to handle that whole thing with the Primogen as cleanly as we did. Thank you very much for listening to my advice.
Yeah.
That would have
No
been really,
problem.
really bad.
Still think Bruja dude's a bitch.
Oh, he's
no. He's a
complete
huge
fucking
bitch.
bastard.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Doesn't want to solve his own problems. Fuck that guy.
And
Yeah.
Strand would have eaten up an opportunity to be able to have anything against us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anyways, what's next on the agenda? We got other shit we got to do, right?
Yeah,
Right.
don't we have like a fucking guy to murder or whatever?
All right, patricide. She says, looking straight at Alex.
Indeed, you do. So at this point, I'd like to ask, what, if any, plans or preparations for that little dance party has anyone been making?
Oh yeah.
You
I'm
have-
fixing that gun I stole from that Asimite, please.
Nice. You do have a stack of maps and photos and sort of in just sort of tracking information furnished to you by Archbishop Montenegro
Mhm.
that sort of detail out where he's been known to be in the past month or so,
Mhm.
places where he sort of holds his little meetings with members of the Sabbat that he's bringing under his sway. It's pretty good tactical data, but you have to be able to do something with it.
I'm setting up an influence blackout. I know
Okay.
we don't have time for me to take it over, but I'm going to get enough pieces in place on the board so that when it's operation time, I can, put up a firewall and prevent some influences from happening when shit's going down.
Okay. Yeah, that is perfectly within your capability.
Cadence is specifically mapping out points of egress and other just mobility type of things, places she can get into, whether that is as a person-sized thing or a dog-sized thing. She's really going to be relying on her claws more than anything else. So she just is trying to plot out the fastest ways in and out of places in the most efficient manner.
Okay. Yeah, you have it enough to go on to start doing like that stuff like that. You'll either want more detailed information or you want to actually get eyes on it. Now, all of these locations are south of 20 in Sabbat territory. He doesn't venture north of the city, so that would require some hands-on experience to really get what you're going after. But you have some preliminary information.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of weapons stuff that Willow is going through. She's probably going to use. Can I roll like my contacts or allies or something?
Sure. Yeah, like you can.
Like, I want to come to this well armed because I know I'm dealing with someone who is just tiers above like me.
Okay. So you're wanting to basically get kit and kitted out and have the sort of the material resources that you want.
Yeah. I want some vampire. Well, yeah, like I know that people don't have crossbows. I mean, they do, but not with wooden bolts that much anymore. I want them. You know what I mean?
So what you're probably going to look for are a combination of high caliber rifles and the good old standard of sawed-off shotguns and dragon's breath rounds.
Hell yeah.
That is, that's good for what ails you as far as taking a motherfucker out.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can give me a. Let's go with charisma streetwise, and you can add your contacts.
All right, and then my hunger is 1. That's not bad.
Do I have enough bandwidth left in addition to what I'm doing to support her efforts?
Yeah, you can add a die.
Take a die then.
Oh, yay!
Because I have the 4 allies as well. Those guys can help a lot with this
5.
sort of thing.
Yeah, well, your allies are mostly Duskborn,
Yeah.
which they have their uses, but they're very new, and not a lot of them are, but it does add. So 5 successes, yeah. You get your hands on 3 cases of Dragon's Breath round,
Woohoo!
and a pair of sawed-off shotguns, and 2 high-caliber, like, sniper rifle things. You're going to take a hit to your resources.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Alex, can I have a loan? We're doing this to kill your daddy.
Yes.
I can
Can
toss
Alex
in for
help
that
with
too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a temporary loss of at least 2 dots of resources
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
that can come from any combination.
No, yeah.
Because this is pretty
It's a lot.
pretty good stuff. And getting it on short notice will take some.
2 sawed-off shotguns and 2 high-power rifles.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And ammunition and Dragon's Breath, 3 cases of Dragon's Breath, and enough ammunition for a party for the rifles.
Okay.
Thank you.
I know you said I need better eyes on places to get a
Mhm.
better idea of them, but just from the information we have, can I like sort of discern where the most, I guess, tactically sound places to go after him would be? Ideally someplace that doesn't have a lot of space, and so that, we limit the amount of other people we'll have to deal with.
So
And also, he's got a Toreador soul in him. We don't know if he's got celerity, and that would be bad if he had a lot of space to move around in.
Ooh.
So the 2 main locations, the 2 places that you have a lot of information about, the places that you have the most information about, there is an old church where he basically holds his rallies, for lack of a better term, where he talks to a lot of different vampires that he's bringing under his sway. That's the most sort of easy to access place, but with the caveat that if he's there, a lot of other Sabbat vampires are going to be there at the same time. The other place is what Montenegro believes to be one of, if not his main haven, that he spends his days in. And that is, there's going to be less people there, but it's a bit more of a secure facility. It is a, would be a good, basically it's an old Masonic lodge.
Okay.
That's on the top floor of a department store. And there's probably some basement access that is there as well. But that's where he's that's where it's believed he hangs his hat. But it's a very small building. But the information that you have and common sense says that it's going to be a lot more secure.
Okay. If we're being quite honest, I don't like either of these options.
There are a couple of other places that he's been known, like sort of more, essentially the Sabbat version of the Rack, where he goes to sort of have more casual encounters with Sabbat members. But that's chaotic, because that you don't know who's going to be there or when there, but there could be some opportunities there as well.
Hey, Alex.
Can't hear you, buddy.
Hey, James, you're muted.
He knows.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're
No
good.
problem.
Good.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you, one, have any way of actually getting in contact with your little sister? And 2, if you did, could you ask her if before or after his fancy-ass sermons, if there is any point in time when he is in that church of his without the flock.
So, yes, I could probably find a way to get in touch with her. We are trying to let her know that we're about to kill him. Because if we ask that question, that is 100% going to be her takeaway.
I was under the impression that she didn't like him very much either, but...
She may not like him very much, but he's a member of the Sabbat.
I mean, maybe
Also,
you could play it like you're trying to just, you want to talk, but you don't want to do it with a lot of people around. I don't fucking know.
She's also high up on the list in terms of people who would be targeted to be brought under his sway. That would be my concern with interfacing with her further on this.
Because of the things that I've now learned about my sister, I don't believe for one moment that she is under his sway. However, I do believe that it is a very sticky proposition to ask her to assist us in assassinating a member of the Sabbat, as she is a member of the Sabbat's very peculiar military force. Maybe she'll help us. Maybe she'll kill us all. I don't know.
Well, you don't have to tell her why. Just say, hey, is there a time when, he's not around so we can have some wood, or when other people aren't around so we can have some woods?
I also might be misunderstanding this, but I thought this entire plan was instantiated by her wanting us specifically to do this. Perhaps I misunderstood.
No, that also was an understanding that I had. However, just let's be very clear. I'm not saying I won't do it. What I'm saying is that what you're asking me to do is make that an official party line. Because if I call her and say, hey, can you get him alone? She's going to 100% know what we're doing. And whereas I suspect that she wants us to do that, my sister is, it is sometimes difficult to ascertain her motives. So
then do we just want to take a gamble and assume he gets there a little bit earlier than everyone else?
The problem is I just don't know anything about who this new version of Carl is. But I can definitely contact my sister and clarify what exactly it is she would like me to do.
Okay, that wouldn't hurt.
All right. So Scott, I don't know if you want to run it now, but at some point, I am going to try to find her on the web and have a conversation.
Okay. We can probably wait until after the break to do that.
Okay, right on.
Because we're running up on 8:30 here. Yeah. So, anything anybody want to take care of before the break? Specifically, I know McKenna, you have to bolt, but
yeah. She will probably just continue to go over that, wait for Alex to do his thing, and while she's waiting for an answer, start actually reading that book and trying to absorb some of it.
Okay. I will say that as soon as you start reading that book in earnest, you find it difficult to put down. Something about it is compelling once you actually start trying to internalize what it says. So I will say that for the remainder of the evening, at least, Cadence has her nose in a book.
Which is weird, guys.
Which is weird. It will be incredibly difficult to get her out of it. But, so she squirrels away back to her haven, and we are going to go ahead and go on our break. But welcome back to it does. Welcome back to Simulacra Studios presents Vampire the Masquerade, Burn It Down. McKenna has left us for the evening, but she's doing the same thing and looking after her health, so we support that. But yeah, so Cadence heads off into her very threadbare room with that little leather-bound journal, leaving the three of you. And I believe, Willow, you have left as well.
I could probably take one of them if they wanted to go. I'm dropping off a box. So, Willow,
I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you have stuff to do. I have to drop some shit off to an ex tonight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
So,
it's pretty gross.
have you in the night or so? Has Willow done any more work on the laptop?
So right now she is actually putting her feelers out for someone she can contract to do the long, difficult job that
Okay.
is to read the binary on
Okay.
that thing, because that's a pretty insane project. And so if she were to do it herself, Willow would be absent for like the next
Gotcha.
3 or
Okay.
4 months.
So you're not getting your hands on that just yet. Gotcha.
No, but she
Okay,
is
good.
looking out for someone that she can contract and tie them up in so much legal bullshit that they're not going to talk about what they're doing and pay them enough that they don't.
So
feel
are
the
you
need.
going with mortal contacts on this?
I probably am.
Okay.
If I could find, the thing is, she doesn't necessarily want right now to let other vampires know she has this. Not yet.
I see.
Because she wants to leverage this knowledge at a later time. So
Okay.
using people is a little easier because if I tie them up in enough bullshit, it won't matter if they see something a little weird. The NDA is pretty rough.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're working on that. It takes a bit to arrange that kind of technical prowess.
Oh yeah.
So that hasn't not a lot, not some movement has been made on that, but you haven't gotten in contact with anyone yet.
Yeah, I've talked to my guy Andrew about it, and he's like, I'm sure I could find someone, and stuff like that.
Okay, so so you're heading out. Is anyone going with her to go on this errand?
Are you guys busy tonight? I know you're busy, Madison. I would have taken Cadence, but it seems she's learned how to read.
I'll go. It's fine.
Okay. You're not super busy, yeah? Do you want to see the guns I bought?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Come and look at my trunk.
America's awesome.
I know. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty nice.
We're going to war with Iran.
It's
Look
still
at my trunk.
It's still September in game.
You know what? Madison's gonna make that joke anyway.
Okay, fair enough. You know what? You're not wrong.
Some sort of vision. He's just like, oh.
You're not wrong.
Like that's so Raven. You just wake up like.
We're going to war with Iran.
Okay, so Willow and Alex, you guys are heading out. Madison, when you have the place to yourself, what are you doing?
I'm going to play some classic rock and write a lot of emails.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to do that glamorous thing that Madison does when he has time to himself and write
Slow ride.
a lot of fucking emails.
All right. What is the content of these emails?
I'm working on spending all my influence and
okay, so
resources
you're doubling down on that.
This is for Operation Assassination.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you that while you're doing that, you do get a couple of contacts from your Duskborn allies.
I will prioritize those because they're usually time sensitive.
They get in contact with you and let you know that the names that you had them looking into and following that you got from Woolie's notebook, they let you know that they've followed some of those names, and you can tell that they've found something out, but they're not communicating to you it over any sort of text or voice message.
All right, I'll tell them to head on down.
They just let you know that there's something.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell them to head on down right away.
Okay. One of them says that are you having them come to your new haven, or are you going to set up a meeting?
I have this much influence over them. I think it's okay for them to know where I live.
Okay. All right.
But I would have cleared that with the coterie before, like, when we established the communal haven.
Yeah.
So would anyone else have an issue if he had previously brought up the idea of meeting people at the haven?
I don't think so.
Nope.
Because I mean, our stuff, our like speakeasy sleeping space is like kind of separate from the warehouse. Yeah. So yeah.
I'm not going to meet them in the speakeasy part. I'm going to meet them in the. I'm assuming there's like side rooms or whatever in the.
Like I said, the warehouse part of it is actually stripped pretty bare.
Yeah.
It's mostly a big open space, but there is
Gotcha.
a place where you could bring in some folding chairs.
Yeah, we'll just do that. Startup culture.
Yeah, there you go. Open office
Also,
plan.
definitely legally, it is registered as like a weird like Theranos level of bullshit startup.
Nice.
Which is why we don't have anything.
All right. So yeah, you head up, and maybe about 15 minutes, one of your Dustborn allies, a guy who probably, if Madison and him in their breathing days met up, they'd probably have a lot in common.
Nice.
But you've both had some interesting experiences after you stopped breathing. So there's a bit of a disconnect in culture, but he comes and says, "New place, huh?"
Yeah, well, variety is the spice of death. What do you got?
Yeah, so those names, we know who they are. We were able to find out who. Well, they're breathers.
Okay.
But it was actually pretty easy to find out who they are. They're part of the East Street Boys operation.
I see.
So you understand why? Like I
got
kind
you.
of thought we were cool with them.
Yeah. I'm gonna think about that a little bit. If you could go ahead and shoot me. You have a physical? You have like a thumb drive or something?
He's like, yeah, man. He passes you over. It's like it's basic stuff. It just sort of corroborates with we already do business with them a little, so it wasn't hard to put the dots together.
Okay. All right. Well, tell everyone. Thanks. Obviously, I'll treat you guys to something. I don't know. You guys let me know if you need anything, and I'll hook you up. You guys did me a solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, business as usual. Don't let anybody get weird with the boys over this.
You're gonna handle it?
I'm gonna handle it. My gut tells me there's something here that wants us to get mad at them.
Cool. All right.
So yeah.
You've been pretty cool. So there's actually another thing I wanted to bring up.
What's up?
It's real, like there's something going on with some of the Duskborn.
Okay.
Like there's something. It's something about.
It's the moon thing.
No. Well, I mean, yeah, there's that. But it actually, this is kind of on the other end of things. There's like a drug.
Oh.
Call it ash.
Ash.
I'm starting to hear about it. It's like a thin blood only thing.
Okay.
Like that's what I know about it, and that sounded weird enough, and you've been cool enough that I thought you might be wanting to know that it's going on. Like some people from, I think it's coming out of Chicago or some places on the West Coast, but it's a drug, and there's thin blood muscle behind it.
Gotcha. Could I make any kind of roll to see if I've heard of this, or is this very new?
This is very new.
Okay.
This is from Cults of the Blood Gods.
Oh no.
So it's incredibly new.
All right. Well,
he's like, I just wanted to give you a heads up about it. It's starting to come around. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's potent. Like it's more than just a high.
If you can get me a sample, give me some.
Okay, man. I mean, the buzz is that it only affects Duskborn.
Oh, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, cool.
I want to know what it is.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right.
If there's some tainted shit going around, then I want to know about it.
I'll see what I can do.
All right. No hurry. It's low priority, but
cool.
All right, man.
Yeah, and he heads out. So Alex and Willow, where are you guys heading?
And as soon as he's gone, by the way, Madison picks up one of the chairs and just fucking throws it across the warehouse.
Okay.
Which it only goes I have strength 1, so it doesn't go very far.
Yeah.
But the echo of it hitting the ground feels like,
satisfying. Yeah. So Willow, where are you taking Alex?
So I'm sure it's in my many like tens of note cards.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Vincent live?
I
think He doesn't live in a place that is in someone's territory, but God, I don't remember the city name.
Can you refresh me on who Vincent is?
Vincent is my ex. The
Oh,
guy that got me into the life.
So yeah, Vincent, he's around. He moved with you just for business reasons. He's not in anyone's specific territory that you know about.
We don't really talk or anything because he probably thinks I died because I stopped talking to him after my injury.
Right.
But I sure am stalking him like a creep.
Absolutely.
You know,
yeah.
100%.
He is actually in Vinings.
Vinings, okay.
Which is north
is that
of the
where
city.
Alex lives?
No, Alex has his haven in Buckhead. Vinings is the last you were in Vinings was where you had meetings with the ministry. You know,
okay, that's what I'm talking about.
That's their turf. But yeah, you've he's actually recently moved.
Yeah.
And that's where he's got his apartment.
Yeah. I sort of when I dress for this sort of occasion, I definitely do put on like me and Alex are matching. We're both wearing hoodies at this point. Like we're twinning it up really hard right now. And so I do take Alex to my car and I pop open the trunk. And I'm just
there's some pretty heavy ordnance that she's arranged here.
1 second. So in the back alongside the weapons and stuff, which are in like Adidas duffel bags right now. There's also a box that is filled with like it looks like photo albums and stuff.
Okay.
So she sort of shows off to Alex her windfall.
Alex is gonna look at it and be like, cool. I don't want to touch any. No, of course not.
You've never shot one of these?
No.
Do you want to learn?
I
can show you.
Like on the one hand, I really, really don't. But on the other hand, this is going to be one of those things where eventually I'm going to have to, right?
We're doing this to kill your guy.
Yeah, I suppose.
You're gonna have to help. If not, you're gonna die.
Oh, I intended to help, just not with shooting.
What does that mean? What do you entail that with? What does that mean?
Look, my sire is going to have some capabilities that I might be able to help with. I don't know what new bits and bobs he may have added after, becoming bound with this horrible elder thing, but I was really going to be more of a sort of, long distance artillery piece, sort of lobbing mental bombs or something.
What if, do you want like a handgun? I understand the shotgun might be a lot, especially for a first timer. There's a lot of kick to it. And so if you're not into that, do you want a handgun? Do you have a handgun?
I have a laptop.
Alex.
Yeah.
This is a hit. Even if you're far away, you think that someone will be on you, I promise.
Well, that's bad though, is what I'm trying to tell you, is that's not good for me. I don't like that. I don't know that having a gun will change anything for me.
It might a little.
I mean, I'll give it a try, I suppose.
Then I'll get you one, and I'll make sure it's real easy to pull the trigger. Like I'll set you up with whatever,
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I just don't want. I'm pretty sure one of us is gonna die, and that's probably just me being fatalistic.
Oh, that makes me feel terrible.
Yeah. It's an assassination.
Well, generally speaking, in an assassination, isn't the other person supposed to die, and we're supposed to all live?
Yeah. We're taking out someone A little outclassing us.
I know. Like I said, I'll try. I can't make any promises, but I'll give it a shot. It's
Okay.
not really. It's not what I'm used to.
And you're uncomfortable with killing?
I don't love the idea, but I don't know. It's a lot to deal with, right? I know I come off as the sort of goofy one, but we are talking about killing my sire, and
Do you have mixed feelings about it?
I have some mixed feelings about it. Yeah, that's a great way of saying that.
Did you care for him?
No, not particularly, but I don't know. He's still my sire, though. You know, it's
No.
like your racist uncle may be a piece of shit, but he's also your uncle. You know?
No. I guess I don't.
Alex, you, as you're talking about this, a memory more or less assaults you of when he threw you in a closet with some mortal when you were incredibly hungry and just screamed at you from the outside.
Look, I'm not saying. Look, Carl needed to die even before he became whatever he is now, but it's just. Well, it's something you don't do every day, murdering your own sire, you know.
No. I guess not.
Maybe it'll be incredibly freeing. Maybe once it's over, I'll feel like, oh, this killing thing is neat. I want to do it all the time. But I can't really imagine.
I guess not. I guess I can't empathize. If I had the opportunity to kill mine, I would in a heartbeat. But, you know,
And I
across
probably,
the country.
I
After
probably
this,
still
we can
will.
kill mine.
Okay, sure.
Do you want to?
Sounds
Do you
great.
want to team up? Do you want to kill mine?
Are we just gonna be? Are we gonna get costumes and like a cool name, and we're gonna be vigilantes roaming the countryside, murdering sires?
No, he'd enjoy that, and so I honestly can't abide by that.
Okay, right on. Sure, I'll help you kill your sire too, and then we'll kill Madison's sire, and then yeah, it'll be great.
We'll just go down the line. Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
great. Never make childer is the thing I'm taking away from this.
Yeah.
Well, since I'm pretty sure we're going to die, I wanted to drop off some stuff with an old boyfriend.
It's Hancock, isn't it?
No.
Oh,
I'm
thank
not
God.
gonna give Hancock old pictures of myself. Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know. You guys get into some really weird shit. There was Crisco in one room.
Crisco?
Yeah, like
What?
lads. Like,
The
I don't know what you were
shortening?
doing. Like, I
I'm
don't know what you were doing
confused.
with it.
What the fuck does
But,
that
you know, there was
mean,
a whole can of
Alex?
Crisco just laying on the floor, and I'm pretty sure there was like hairs in it and stuff. It was really disturbing. I don't know what you two got up to, but it was very uncomfortable for me.
Why were you there? Shut up, Alex. Get in the car. Oh my
Okay.
God. She closes the trunk.
All right.
Oh my God. I can't believe you. Fuck. And so she sort of drives over there. All of the stuff that she has in that box. When she came over to Atlanta, she brought over a lot of her stuff, but she's kind of a pack rat, as everybody here knows.
Oh yeah.
And as she was cleaning to move, she saw a lot of stuff that she was like, I'm positive I had left that in a warehouse in LA, but now she has it here with her. And it's a lot of stuff that is sentimental. It's a lot of stuff that if something happens to her, she does not want anybody to see. It's pictures of her when she was like alive and when she was jet setting, and even further back there's pictures of her like as a gymnast, like with trophies and shit. And so this is it's stuff that she doesn't want to exist in the vampire sphere anymore. She wants it gone. And for her, the best way to sort of have any closure on that as she's cleaning out her house and she's moving and reducing everything is to give that to someone who might care about it.
Okay.
She has no contact with her parents. And so she's like, I'll give this to him.
Okay.
Under the cover of night.
So he is, like I said, his apartment is in Vining. So you do know that you are going to be in the territory of another Anarch gang.
Yeah.
The Ministry Coterie, as it were. So are you going to be giving them a heads up, or are you just rolling into town?
I'm not going to be feeding or anything. And I'm kind of dropping it off. I've kind of been watching this guy's house from a distance. And so I might send them a text that I'm driving through.
Okay.
And leave it at that. Because I'm not here to violate their claim on this place. I'm not breaking.
Yeah, you a couple minutes after you send that text, you just basically kind of get a thumbs up, and then a couple minutes after that, you get another text from them, and just says that Sister Lynn has been waiting for you guys to come talk to her. Like, there's no come do this now or anything. It just, this is a thing.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, well, if we live, we'll talk to her. She doesn't say it aloud, but she thinks it. And it's just like, yeah. So she cruises up. She doesn't park directly in front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
She parks a few blocks back. And you can stay in the car. You can come, Alex. I'm just dropping this off.
What would make you more comfortable?
God.
Weird.
Oh, no. Listen, he's not coming to do shit.
Right.
That was such an uncomfortable laugh. You stay here for just a moment.
All right, sure.
Sorry, I didn't want to super be alone. I don't really want to be alone. Do you understand?
He puts his hand on your shoulder and he looks you in the eye and he really does seem genuine, even though he's still a little awkward. And he's like, "We're family. You've always got me."
I appreciate you. Oh, fuck. You're making me sensitive. And she she exits the car and goes to grab the box.
Mm-hmm.
And she pulls up her hoodie and sort of, she knows that his house is it definitely has cameras and everything.
Oh yeah.
She plops it down on his doorstep.
Okay.
Rings his doorbell and goes to walk away. And she wants to stay. He was such an important part of her life.
Do you hesitate at all?
Yes.
You linger?
Okay. Yeah, of course she does. This is someone who was a formative part of her entire life. And it's very painful how they stopped talking. Mm-hmm. And how crazy things have gotten since. But she felt like she almost knows that by doing this, he's going to start asking. He's going to start looking. He's going to lose the assumption she died.
So you linger.
Yeah.
A bit. And just as you're about to head back to the car, you hear a buzzing by the doorstep from an intercom, you think, and you hear his voice coming out from the speaker. And this is a little late for a delivery.
Yeah, it is, Vincent. This is for you. I've got to go. And I just wait there. I wait there because I just want to hear him talk again.
You don't hear his voice from the intercom, but you see a hall light go on from the upstairs.
I move around the back. I take a couple steps back, and I would like to become invisible. I want to see his face.
Okay.
I just want to see his face.
Yeah.
Let me see. Cloak of shadows. I don't have to roll. I don't think.
No, you don't. You just have to stay still.
Yeah, I just stay still and.
So yeah, you disappear. Alex, are you paying attention to what's going on, Alex, from the car, or can he even see you from where you parked?
I'm probably across the street, a couple houses down. He might be able to see.
Okay. So yeah, Alex, are you paying attention to what's going on out here?
I mean, sort of vaguely, not intently.
Okay. But you probably notice when she vanishes out of sight. I mean, you look down, she's up there by the doorstep, and you look back and she's not there anymore.
Yeah, I assume he invited her in and they're gonna do weird stuff with Crisco.
Nice.
No Crisco.
But yeah, so you disappear, and then a downstairs light comes on, and the door is just thrown open, and he steps out and is just looking down the street, looking out the yards. He flips on floodlights that come and just illuminate the entire yard. But you're staying still, and that doesn't matter. You can't be seen.
Yeah. Seeing him now, because
he's older.
I died in the 90s. Yeah, I died in the 90s. I haven't seen him.
He's 30 years older. He's definitely looks 30 years older.
Yeah.
There's not much that you can do to stop that.
Yeah.
But he's still him. He still works out. He still takes care of himself.
Yeah.
And he looks down at the box, just because out of curiosity. But he's still looking around. He takes a couple steps off of his doorstep and starts looking down the street. And he just says, you get the sensation that he wants to be a little louder, but something stops him from actually like yelling. But he says, Willow?
That just makes her heart stop. Like, it's already gone, but like her chest tightens. And it's so painful because she has avoided being physically near him. Like, it's an effort to not want to involve herself with him again, because she knows how she gets. And this is tantamount to like
this is like
self-harm. Yeah, you get it, you understand.
Yeah, this is rough.
This is hard for her, but she thinks she's gonna die. And it's cathartic. Maybe
in the midst of all of that, a tiny voice inside of you just whispers, you can have him forever.
Oh, and she knows, because it's not just that voice inside of her that says that. It's her. She thinks I could have him forever. And that's why she stays away from him, because she knows she's a crazy bitch.
Eventually, he goes back onto his doorstep. And he goes to the box and picks it up. He hasn't opened it yet. He kind of hefts it a little. And he turns around one more time, just looking out into the yard, trying to see any trace. Then he turns around, goes in, closes the door behind him, and the lights click off, and you're surrounded by darkness again.
That she makes her way back to the car. She thinks to herself, if I live through this, maybe I'll say something. Maybe I can get a little bit closer. Maybe I can trust myself to do that now. Maybe things have changed now that she's drank from that cup. Like maybe there's like some sort of hope that maybe that has changed something about her personality, even though it doesn't. But there's like a sort of hope that, maybe
that direction.
Maybe that'll fix something, maybe things are different now. And she goes back to her car and she's already crying. Like there's already blood tears by the time she gets into the car with Alex. And she's just like, man.
And he's just gonna kind of like notice and try to be there, he's sort of looking at the older guy, saw the guy coming out and calling her name with a broken voice, and he's gonna kind of piece things together a bit.
Man.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't think I could have done it.
I mean, you talk to yours.
I do.
People.
They're the only thing sometimes that remind me who I am.
Yeah.
You giving up on who you are?
No. He was who I was. I am everything I am because of him.
Sure. Well, let's see to it you survive this thing, huh?
Yeah. I'm ready to go back.
Okay.
Oh God, Alex.
Yeah.
So,
we'll keep this between you and me.
Yeah.
So you start to head back. Head down back onto 75. And I'm assuming there's not a lot of small talk on this drive back.
No, she's kind of everything's kind of going through her head right now. Like she'll sigh occasionally or like yell at someone who like she doesn't agree with their driving, which is pretty standard. She has a moderate amount of road rage.
Nice.
But
so while all of the traffic, it's after midnight now, middle of the week. So there's cars on the road, but it's not crazy. But in this kind of in this quiet drive, Alex, you see the lights of the city are sort of playing over as you drive down the roads, down the highway. The skyline, pretty impressive. Atlanta's a pretty big city. There's a lot of lights. There's a lot of going on, and you feel like there's chatter on the wire tonight. It's hot. You can kind of hear the whispers
Okay.
in the back of your head. It's not necessarily something going on. There's not like a call, but that the bandwidth is good, you feel.
Okay, I'm gonna tune in, listen.
There's yeah. It's chaotic. There's a dozen different stories playing out. You get the sensation that there's probably an Elysium because there's a lot of fancy dresses and paper dolls, and a lot of that. You think that maybe the Elysium is going on. You get the idea of there's maybe a rock show.
Oh.
You hear a lot of pounding drums, but not the systematic of beat of an EDM, more like the primal beat on an actual drum set. And in the skyline, you see lines of color drawing themselves from window to street lamp, in the way that your sister draws when she's in an artistic mood.
I'm gonna kind of gesture to Willow. I'm gonna kind of trance out a bit, and I'm gonna gesture to Willow where I need her to move, where I need her to go, so as to get us closer to this feeling.
Sure. I don't have anywhere else. I don't have anything else to do tonight. I took off.
Yeah,
work.
you need color, and you actually it's a place that you probably at least drive through on pretty regular, because it is actually in the northern edge of your territory, the Krog Street Market.
Oh yeah.
A lot of street art, a lot of graffiti, and painted concrete pylons. It's a very colorful place. That feels like the right place.
Okay. When we get there, I'm just gonna step out of the car. Is it the market or the tunnel?
It's the tunnel.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna get out of the, kind of point out some cool art to Willow.
Yeah, she'll come out and walk with you. We're twinning it up right now. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
There's not people aren't here. It's not, people don't come here in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Right. That is true.
But the walls are festooned with art and color. It's lit up by a car that drives through every now and then, but there are sidewalks and places that you can walk amongst it, and you're seeing behind the paint where you see your sister's work, just sort of playing in between the lines, and you feel closer to her.
I'm going to sort of find one of the pieces of art that I recognize as being hers or something like hers. And
you don't think any of her pieces are here, but you find something that sort of resonates with her.
Okay. I'm going to find that piece that resonates with her, and I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to try to find her on the web.
I mean, you think you found her.
Okay. I'm going to
you think that you're as close to her as you can get without actually finding her.
All right. I'm just going to try to talk to her then.
What do you say?
Say, this sort of space always reminded me of you.
A car passes, and even though it's just a headlamp, in your mind, it's like a black light washes over the piece that you're looking at. The colors pop, and they linger.
I came away from our last meeting somewhat confused about what exactly it is that you're looking for us to do. But if it is what I think you're asking us to do, can you get him alone?
It gets dark in your head. The real art kind of goes away, and you're left with those lines, those very abstract lines that are very much her work. Willow, he's just kind of staring at a wall.
Yeah, I've never even though I've probably passed by this place a couple times, but I've never been inside of it out. And so I'm just like, oh, this is nice. A little chaotic. This has weird vibes.
And you see the lines start to resolve themselves, into kind of a pattern. They resolve into it's more like a landscape than anything else. Like you see kind of the Bob Ross happy little trees going, and you see a little animal that's sort of taking shape out in the plain, in the grass. And it's a majestic beast. Like it's a boar, big, maybe if it had any sort of sense of perception, like it'd be a 400-pounder. And as you're looking, this becomes less and less abstract. It becomes more real, like a thing that you're seeing. And the boar, it's raging. It's snorting and bellowing. But you can see at its mouth, on its hind quarters, pustules of some blight. And it just kind of looks, for all of its strength and all of its power, and all its sort of inherent majesty, you just get a sense of sadness and disgust when you look at it.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to kind of take that as her saying basically that she does not want to participate in this, but she doesn't feel like she has any choice because he's damaged. And I'm going to kind of, Alex nods, he sees that from the picture that she's shown him. And he says, in that case, then I'll give you a heads up when we're making our move. I don't want to hurt anyone else. I just want him. Because even though you and I disagree about the ends, we agree about the basis of why. We agree about the very basic things. And whatever he has become cannot be allowed to remain. For both of our sakes and for the sakes of both of our sects. Give me a shot at him and I'll take it.
You see your vision sort of returns back into the tunnel. And it's all very normal. But lingering, sort of fading in the background, you see the image of the moon shining with that UV light. And it's not as it is in the sky right now. It's a little off phase.
Okay.
And then normality returns.
Okay. So Alex will sort of reach out and brush his hand across the painting lovingly as if, he painted it himself. And then he'll stand up and he will Google phases of the moon and figure out what night it is that she expects him to do this.
Well, it's Wednesday now. You think Sunday is when the moon will be that color. Whether or not that's what she was trying to convey, you're not sure, but she seems to convey something.
Something. something's going to happen that night.
Hmm.
All right, cool. Alex will go back to the car and...
Did you get what you was so what was that?
Members of my family communicate in very strange ways sometimes. But I have a basic idea of what our next step is.
They gave you a hint or a time?
Either that or I misread it all and we are doomed.
Oh yeah, that's what I need right now. Anything
You're welcome.
else?
No.
No, there's you don't want to talk about how gruesome it's gonna be? Thanks.
If I interpret my sister's intentions correctly, she agrees that Carl cannot be allowed to stand in the condition that he is in. It is very
Okay.
important to me that nobody else there die. So if he does have assistance, I'm going to quite demand that they not be killed. Staked, if need be, torpid, but not killed.
Why? Old friends?
No, not exactly.
I mean, they're not going to take kindly to the assassination, and it's a little easier to kill.
The fact that my sister is willing to cooperate on this means that she has attempted to solve this problem through the channels available to her and been unsuccessful. That further means that, let me rephrase, we should not anticipate that means that she will not behave as a full-fledged member of the Sabbat should she deem us a threat to those that are not targeted.
You don't want us to kill your sister. That's fine.
I don't think we can kill my sister.
I don't want to try.
But I very specifically don't want my sister to kill us.
That's a difficult line to walk.
I believe, based on the symbols that my sister has shown me, that if we are to keep our efforts focused on the destruction of Carl, she will not interfere in a way that is deleterious to us.
Okay, that's actually just ideal.
And I
'Cause
believe that she
rather
wants us
not.
to make our move on Sunday night.
That's pretty. Sunday night. Did she say where?
I mean, I assume in the same place that you anticipated making it earlier.
Okay. Fuck. Sunday night, I'm gonna have to teach you how to fire a gun.
And I'm going to have to get my hair done.
Your hair looks great.
I know.
You don't have to change your hair. It's fine the way it is. You look great.
I didn't say I was going to change it. I said I was going to get it done.
What's the difference? Let's go to a shooting range.
Okay.
Let's go to a shooting range. I want to teach you how to fire a gun. It'll be fun.
I'm sure that it will. Let's do it.
Okay.
All
I
right.
need this.
Back at the Haven. It's Atlanta. You can totally find a shooting range that's open after midnight.
Oh, yes. And they're drunk. Come on. And it's filled with 16-year-olds. Listen, I know where we're at.
So
Right.
back at the Haven, Madison. Still chomping away at those emails.
Yeah. He doesn't
Or-
know that it's got to be done by Sunday, so it's
Well,
good that he's doing it.
I will say that when you spoke with the Archbishop, he did give the about a week timeline.
Okay, so in fact, he does have reason to be turboing at this.
Mhm. So yeah, so you're that project is well underway. So is there anything else that he's putting his attention to while those wheels are spinning?
If he is out of stuff to excuse himself away from thinking about the East Street Boys then
He'll think about him.
So actually, there's there's a bit of housekeeping that I want to take care of that we haven't taken care of yet.
Yeah, Madison's like picking up the phone to call Nikki, and then it's like, wait, there's something for me to do, and he puts the phone back down,
But,
and then he does whatever you're about to say.
So what we have to take care of is the fact that one of your touchstones has been grievously injured.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So that means that there is a stain upon your humanity.
Yep.
Now, this is a question that I have to put to you. This is something that our viewers know, and Cadence certainly does, but she hasn't mentioned it. And I'm wondering how much of the dots Madison has put together in regards to this. Because there is an interpretation that can be made that Madison, if he is put enough dots together, it might be reasonable to think that he might think himself partially to blame for this.
Uh-oh.
Which would make the difference between one stain and two stains.
That's really
So I
complicated.
want you to be honest, Dylan, with how much Madison, being as clever as he is, how much Madison would put together. Because you're pretty sure with the information on the table, you know Nikki wanted you to take care of a veterans group that was giving him shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Willie was leading a veterans group that was cleaning up.
It's pretty clear. I mean, Madison's assumption is that Nikki's beef over the accusation about him being tied up in trans bullshit, this is like a, hey, get your nose out of that. That's his current top assumption.
But to date, you don't have any reason to suspect that Nikki knows that you and Willie or these veterans are connected in any way.
That's true, but
it's still an assumption that Madison might make. So I'm leaving the decision up to you, whether the determination of your touchstone is hurt or your touchstone is hurt and you're somewhat responsible for it.
If the bar is somewhat responsible, then it's at somewhat responsible.
Okay, so that would be two. You're responsible enough to be two stains instead of one stain.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so that would be two stains on your humanity.
Okay.
So the way that works is you essentially roll the difference, basically from your humanity, so from 8 to 10 minus your stains.
From 8 to 10, so that's 0.
No, that's you have two stains. The difference between 8 and 10 is oh yeah, you're right. So yeah, you would roll one die. In that instance.
Lord.
Oh man.
Man, I didn't realize it's that easy to lose morality.
Oh
when you're hot, it's actually like the way it works is.
Well, I got a success.
You got a success. Okay. So what that means is that Madison feels enough remorse over this, and to a degree, that he's able to hang on to his humanity. That he feels bad, not just in an angry way or a vengeful way, in a legitimate, like soulful way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That he is able to take this hit without just shrugging it off and losing a piece of himself. So that should seriously impact how you approach the situation going forward.
Sure, yeah.
Yikes.
So the weight of that, when you're all alone and you have a lull in your activity, kind of hits you. And you kind of have to spend a little time thinking it through and resolving how you should feel about it. And you retain the human emotions that surrounds the situations, as opposed to the bestial ones.
He's gonna go get the chair that he threw
Okay.
Oh.
Put it back.
and just unfolds it and puts it back, and is like, fuck. He's still gonna have to talk to him.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
really nothing else to do about it other than, I mean, they still have to be engaged on it because
Mm-hmm.
that's not gonna fly. That is not gonna fly.
So,
but I don't think I'm gonna do it immediately.
okay. Excellent. So, time goes by. You and Alex and Willow find a shooting range. It's not open for very much longer. They do.
Can I tip them to be like, hey, can we get a little, like, an extra 45 minutes? Sorry for the trouble.
You can tip them for an extra half hour.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
They gotta go home. But yeah, so you get about half hour-ish time at the shooting range.
Yeah, and I'm gonna show Alex. Oh my god. Oh, it's like I'm your daddy now, and I'm showing you how to shoot a gun.
And that's exactly the most appalling thing you could have said. So
I
excellent.
know.
Great job.
So yeah, Willow, you walk him through firearms training 101.
Mhm.
What do you start him out on?
I start him out on what is on the gun.
Okay.
That's a good starting
I'm
point.
like, this is very important. Like, this is the slide. Don't get anything caught in here. Always open it, check it. Where the safety is on it. I'm just gonna tell him all about the gun that I'm giving him.
But by the way, James, I'm finding this hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, here you
but
go.
yeah, no, you walk them through the basics, and you're able to get them to understand how the things work.
Do you want to roll a little bit so we can see what your target practice looks like?
Sure, that would be a straight dexterity roll.
So she's going to hand me the weapon, and the first thing I'm going to do is release the magazine, which is going to fall on the floor.
Oh, it's okay.
And then I'm just going to point the gun, like I'm going to turn towards her with the gun because I don't realize there's a round in the chamber.
No, you don't point that at people. What are you doing? Point it down and don't point that at people.
But aren't we supposed to point it at people?
Don't point it at me.
Oh, right. Good. But it's okay. So hold on.
Check the chamber. Check the.
He's going to pull the slide back, realize that there's a round in there.
Okay.
He's going to,
Okay.
Oh, you told me about this.
Yeah, there's one in. Do you ever hear like rap songs where they talk about one in the chamber? Yeah, don't point your gun at people.
Oh, I thought it was because they really wanted to get laid. I get it now. Yeah, that's lovely. Okay, so I'm gonna make those rolls.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, what does that mean? She's rooting you on. She's like, I believe in you. I believe in you so much.
Thanks, mother. Hold on, I accidentally closed my sheet. Let me pull it back up real quick so that I can look at what the terrible dexterity score is. Oh, it's not too bad. I've got 2 dice for this. This is going to be great.
You could rouse the blood to give yourself an extra dice on that.
Nope.
That Faustian bargain. So yeah, that's just 2 dice to roll. You do include your hunger die on it.
Oh, that's great.
So it's a hunger die and a regular die.
Oh, I'm so excited. All right. Roll. No, what is wrong with my computer? Okay, here we go. First die, and I'm rolling it, and it's a hit. Second die is a miss.
Okay. So you do get a success.
He hits the paper.
Yeah, you hit the paper. Pop. Bang.
How's the recoil on that?
Not as bad as I was going to expect, though.
It does kick a little.
Okay. Do you think you can handle a bigger one? Or
Oh, no. This is good. This is about what I can. I have very narrow wrists.
What does that mean?
The bones that support my wrist can't really handle much more than this, I think.
What the fuck does that mean? You should be fine. Do you want
Okay.
something lighter?
No, this feels like a warm bath. That
Once
means
more.
good.
What? That's good?
That's good.
Okay. I'm very proud. This is
Oh.
good.
I'm proud of me too.
All right. I'm keeping this paper and I'm going to show Cadence. She's going to also be proud, I think.
All right. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I can fight now.
I mean, how about you pick up the magazine, click it back, put it back in,
Okay.
and do a couple more. Just
All right.
really good. Yeah.
The next time he what happens when you get a 1 on a hunger die? Nothing.
That would be a bestial. Yeah, that's a bestial failure.
Oh.
Well, if you also failed.
Yeah.
No,
if you-
I actually succeeded. I got an 8
Oh,
on
then nothing happens. If you get a success, then a 1 on a hunger die doesn't mean anything. It's only when you fail the roll that a bestial happens. So yeah, you pop another one. You get a little closer to the center this time.
I rolled just for funsies, and I got 3 successes.
So he's over there like pinging the head, and I'm just like trying not to shoot the lights out of this place.
Well, I don't think Madison's with y'all right now, but
You said you all. I thought it was a group outing.
oh, if Madison would have come along.
Yeah,
then
for
that-
sure. Madison
Yeah,
actually
oh
likes
my-
guns.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we can talk about guns.
Yeah. I have 2 firearms.
Hell yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so
I've been on the streets.
Mm-hmm. Oh my.
I'm a Ventrue from the streets.
So yeah, so the three of you eventually meet up in the shooting range and put some lead down range.
I take it this is justification for me to buy firearms 1.
If you so
Yes.
desire, you can.
Please.
then I will do so.
Good times.
My Machiavellian schemes are finally working.
Yay!
But eventually, the attendant does kind of head on in, let you guys know that it's about time. You guys need to
Alright.
get going.
All right, let me get
Okay.
let me get the papers. Put the gun down when I go get the papers.
He puts the gun down.
Thank you.
Yeah, the guy just takes you get the sensation that he's been watching you guys.
Yeah.
He takes the gun and starts taking it out.
Oh, good call. That is a good call.
He's like, actually, ma'am, let me take care of that.
Oh, please, thank you. I appreciate
And he goes and he gets all your papers, and he rolls them up, hands them over to you. Just
I like your watch. Do you want to text me sometime? I see it.
he kind of gives you a look up and down. It's real gross. He's all like, yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Give me your number.
He writes it on one of the papers
Cool.
and hands them over to
Does
you.
he write it on one of her papers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he should be terrified of that paper.
How much do you have, by the way? I'm curious.
A lot.
Like 3. Like I know you have more than 2 decks.
Yeah, I have 4 decks
Mhm.
and 2 firearms. So
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Willow is like, yeah, no, I love shooting people. Sorry guys, it's super great for me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys are kind of chuffed out of here. You guys head back to your haven. What do you do next?
Yeah, I'll head back to the Haven. My house isn't ready to live in yet. Am I staying with Alex still? I might be. I
Yeah.
don't remember.
Well, I think y'all are avoiding Alex's haven
Yeah,
for the time being because of hunters.
the stuff. You're
But
absolutely right.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the speakeasy part has like at least 4 rooms, probably more than that for like guests.
Yeah, let's go there.
Okay. Yeah. It's still
Okay.
pretty ramshackle. Or you guys haven't had enough time to make it truly cozy.
I'm gonna make it cozy. That's what I'm spending the rest of my night on.
Awesome. Yeah. You can start getting.
Guys, let's decorate.
Okay.
But the furniture isn't here yet, or is it here?
Some of it is.
I'm ready to assemble I want to assemble a dresser or something. Now that people are here, I bet I could even finish it.
Well, luckily
s-
for you, we have a nice high quality hymnus over here, ready and willing for your magical touch.
So
Okay.
while you guys are doing this, I would like everyone to roll the higher of either your wits awareness or wits investigation.
Wits awareness, wits investigation. Sure.
And let me know which that is.
For me, mine would be wits and investigation.
Okay.
Oh, wrong type of dice. Oops.
I have the same pool for either.
Okay. 3. Okay.
So
I'm using
2.
I'm using awareness, and I got 3 hits.
Okay. And what about you?
I got 2. I have the same pool for either. So
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
dealer's choice.
So as you guys are moving things around, when you guys are actually going over the little bar back area, you all sort of you all notice little details that seem a little off, and when the three of you kind of like mention it to each other, those details sort of mesh into something that's actually a little more off than is normal. There's something on the lower edge of this bar, basically like underneath the shelf where the liquor's supposed to go. Like one of you feels kind of a draft. One of you notices some irregularities in the paint on the drywall. And like one of you kind of like knocks it a little bit and it sounds a little off. So there's this section, maybe about 4 feet wide and 3 feet tall, that it doesn't look right. There's something off with it. It doesn't mesh with the rest of the wall that's behind this bar.
Is this hollow?
It's not hollow.
Clunks it again.
It just makes kind of an off sound.
Do we have a screwdriver?
Yeah, you've got some Allen wrenches and some.
Oh, gross! I'll take a pocket knife then. She's gonna run it along the edge, up top
Okay.
and then up bottom to see if there's if there's give underneath there.
There's not necessarily give. I mean, there's certainly some drywall here. Like I said, this place has been maintained since since at least 10 years ago when it would stop being maintained. But as you drag it along, you feel just a change in the consistency of the drywall in this section.
Do you want to see what's behind it?
Yeah.
1000% yes.
100%.
We literally just moved in here, and if we already have a bug in here, I'm just gonna go shoot Tran in the fucking head.
Do you want to use a hammer?
You're the crime professional.
Oh, can we use a gun?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's a little loud, but
What?
I love that you're so gung ho for this.
Yeah, it's not too hard, especially with the three of you working to like basically chip off and remove this section of drywall.
Alex, you're a real American now. You're
I know.
officially immigrated.
I feel like do
Yeah.
I start losing words from my vocabulary immediately, or
Well, the G's go first.
right, yeah, makes sense.
But when you guys remove this section, what you see is, and you can tell the difference, like you've pulled a little bit more drywall around the edge of it. You see that there is poured concrete around the edges, and there is sort of wood slats put in sort of a recessed opening that you can sort of pry off. And behind those wood slats is a very heavy looking welded shut iron or metal hatchway, essentially.
Is this like a bunker?
Is this like a coffin?
You're not sure. It seems like this looks like modern-ish construction. This doesn't look. This looks, and it looks out of congruity with the rest of what you're seeing on this wall.
Well, I'm
Does it look like
crawling
it was-
in here.
So it looks like there is a sort of an a metal hatchway that's set into like reinforced poured concrete, and it's been welded entirely shut.
Oh, it's welded.
What
Like
the
so, there's
fuck?
no opening. There's no there's no like the hinges have been welded. And it's just a wall of metal that was at one point an opening, but it's been sealed totally.
That is super cool.
Anybody got an acetylene torch?
Was it
Yeah.
welded from our side?
Yeah, it was welded from your side.
I mean, I have a
It's
small
open.
one I have a small one in my car. I have a big one at my office.
Well, let's cut this open.
Do you want to cut it open?
Absolutely, I want to cut it open.
I would
This
like
is
to
exhilarating.
know.
I feel live when I see stuff like this. I want to know what's inside.
So yeah, it's totally reasonable for you to have a small acetylene torch, Willow.
Yeah,
in
this
your
is
kit.
me. I'm like, hold on, give me a second. Let me get it from my car.
So yeah, whoever's doing this, I'm gonna need a Dex craft roll from,
Sure.
and a willpower roll.
Yeah.
Because fire,
It's
yeah.
scary. So let me see. Craft specifically for this sort of thing. So let me do my roll for it first, and then I'll do my you said it would be a willpower.
Mm-hmm. Your unspent willpower, which you haven't burned any of this game, so.
I know. Oh, I keep rolling these bloody numbered dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So 4 on that, and then my unspent willpower. All right, I got 1 success on that willpower roll.
So yeah, it's a small torch, so you're able to hold it together. And you said
put
you
on
got
my mask.
yeah, you put on your mask, and you said you got 4 successes on the craft roll.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, it takes a little bit for you to work through this. You actually have to. You're glad that you have a second. You have a second tank.
Yeah.
Because this is some serious business, and it takes a bit. And while you're working on it, Alex, I would like you to roll premonition for me, please.
Ooh, yes. Oh dear. That is going to be only 1 success.
So, in like the last moments of her getting through this welding, this seal, you hear in your head many thousands of voices speaking at once, each of them saying a single word. So what they are doing, and you recognize it, you can somehow parse it, that they are reciting the Edgar Allan Poe story, The Telltale Heart. Each one of them saying one word at the same time.
That's awesome. I'm just gonna like,
and like, but this like hits you like a slug to the back of the head.
he's gonna start reciting it.
Yeah.
What?
But just words are coming out of his mouth in no particular order. So he just starts babbling essentially.
You just hear a muffled behind the mask. What's he saying? What's he saying?
Wait, did I hear Telltale? What the fuck are you saying, Alex?
He seems really excited.
All right.
I don't know. This feels more like a Cask of Amontillado situation to me, but you do you, man.
She just keeps working and is like, what is happening?
What the fuck?
Oh, he must be excited to see what's inside. That's what this is. It's not Malkavian bullshit. He's just excited.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Scott, is it reasonable that with a high intelligence, a few moments?
Give me an intelligence academics.
Oh no, not that.
Not that thing you're really good at.
I got 4 successes.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, you piece it together enough of what he's saying. You recognize some of that Poe-ish diction.
Son of a bitch.
But yeah, so Will, you make your way through the last hinge, and are able to Do you push it in or pull it out? How are you getting at it? Because it's not opening. Like there's no smooth opening of this thing.
I'm going to get some suction cups and I'm going to pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give it a pull and then try not to get crushed.
What's your strength?
My strength? Let me see. It's not super high. Oh no, actually it's okay. 3.
Yeah, no, you're able
wow.
to take care of that. Yeah, you take the metal part out and set it to the side, and when you do, even though y'all know breathe, the smell assaults you. It smells like must and old decay. Just like hits you as like the pressure differential equalizes itself in the room, and it's dark.
Let me get some of my flashlights. God. She goes and she gets a flashlight and sort of like points it in there and sweeps to see.
So you do a sweep, and it looks like a room. Like it looks like a pretty like standard kind of like storage room. And then you sweep the light over a section of it, and you don't understand what you're seeing, but it looks horrible.
It feels like they've done a lot.
And you're not. It's whatever it is that your light is seeing. You're only seeing a little section of it when you pass it over, but like you instinctually just kind of reel back because whatever it is doesn't look right at all.
Oh, shit, there's something in there. Oh fuck.
So you're able to sort of train a couple of lights in there.
Yeah, like I have them hold lights.
Yeah, and so you're able to pour enough light. And what you see in roughly the middle of this pretty small room, you see similar to the end result of the Jeff Goldblum, The Fly. That merging of man and insect, except it's more like a cockroach than a fly, but it's utterly desiccated.
How big is it?
It's man-sized. It's like an old man-sized, dried out cockroach.
Holy shit! Give me the broom. I'm gonna poke it.
Okay, hold on.
Holy shit! Look at the fucking size of that thing.
How did we get this place again?
Yeah, actually, did they give you any sort of hint of hidden room?
No. The fucking appraiser missed the cockroach man. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, I'm getting a broom. She gets a broom. And
Madison is like viciously racking his brain to attempt any sort of rational explanation for this.
Right. Here, James, hold this. Do not turn off the flashlight while I'm in there. I swear to fucking God.
Take the flashlight and like point right at it. Like,
I'm gonna see if there's an appropriate role for that, Madison.
Do not turn off that flashlight while I'm in there with that thing.
I'm not gonna turn the flashlight off, I promise.
So,
Madison, I'd like you to roll wits politics for me, please.
what? That's fucking weird.
So, Willow, you're climbing in there with like
I got a crit.
Okay, please.
So yeah, as Willow is crawling
It's
her way in with a flashlight and a little implement, Madison, you sort of put it together. It's obvious that this place was used as a haven before.
Yeah.
Like it's too perfect not to. And it looks like there's about 10 years of decay and misuse in this place.
Right.
10 years ago, this city was Sabat.
Oh, hey, you should not touch that.
Are you? She was like about to
give me a single die roll.
See if I jab it.
Yeah, to see if you jabbed it before or after he told you not to.
Success. I jabbed. Oh my god.
Yeah, you poke it, but doesn't move. A little,
Thank
a little,
goodness.
little flaky, chitinous flesh just flakes off where you poke it.
Okay.
I'm gonna push it out.
No, just.
Do you want to leave? I poke my head back out.
Listen. Do the math, right? If you look at the damage and you compare it to the rest of the building, right? It looks like this place probably, I don't know, about 10 years ago. What happened 10 years ago?
10 years ago, the Sabbat started leaving the city, and the Cam and Anarchs rolled in.
And he just kind of like stares at the two of them, waiting for them to make the connection.
Sabbat retreat.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So what?
Fast and Furious 4, I think.
Okay, that's also probably correct. But the Sabbat had control of the city, and that includes this really, really obviously secret part of this really, really inconspicuous warehouse.
Oh, that thing
which
is
was
Sabbat.
almost certainly used
as like a haven.
Yeah, which means that whatever's on the other side of that door belongs to.
So it's a Sabbat cockroach?
No, nope. Look, you know what? I did not go very far in the Sabbat, but I can tell you for sure, there's no cockroaches.
Alex says there's no cockroaches. I'm gonna touch it again.
There are flesh warpers.
That's not what they look like, though.
Do you think that's
right? But they could. I don't know. I'm just saying that whatever is down here is either something so shitty that the Sabbat wanted to steal it away, or it's some shitty Sabbat stuff that the people who moved in here afterward wanted to steal away. Either way, we should be very careful and maybe wait for Cadence.
It's pretty clear to me that the Sabbats welded this thing up in the wall. This is a bad guy, like a really, really bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's not moving.
I'd like to investigate while I'm in there with my flashlight.
Okay.
And she dislodges the stake, and the ancient Bali arises.
No, as I will say, you've been in there. There's no stake. This thing does not have any wood inside of it at all that you can see.
Two successes. So I sort of like poke it and like put my flashlight around it to see like what's up with this bug or what's up with this carapace thing.
I mean, it is as I've described. It is not moving at all. It looks what it looks like. You sort of look around the room a little bit, and you see it looks like a pretty solid little storage area. You know, the whole thing is that sort of reinforced concrete all around. And you do see every now and then spaced out like maybe inch gashes in the concrete.
Madison's gonna turn his phone light on and look in one of those gashes.
It looks to be about congruous with the appendages at the end of this cockroach man's bug hands.
Well, I mean, he is clearly walled up to die. That's pretty rough, I guess. Do you want to just put him back? Do you want me to put the door back on? Or do you want to burn it?
The problem is I really want to fucking know what it is too.
Okay, go get the tarp out of the back of my car and we can like pull it out.
It could stay in here. It's gross.
Yeah, if you assume that this thing is a vampire of some sort or of a kindred, you're almost certain it's in torpor.
Well,
like it has all the like for a bug person, it's not moving. It's dead as best you can tell. Absolutely unresponsive to stimulus in any way, but still preserved in a state. It's not unreasonable for you to come to the conclusion that it's in torpor.
I mean, we can pull it out so I don't have to be in this dark little fucking room.
Why don't we all go back out of this room and close the door and get Cadence?
Cadence is busy.
Then let's do it tomorrow.
Scott, in the story that you're telling here, before the coming of the end times, how prevalent were the Bali?
Give me an intelligence occult roll
I will do that this time.
to see if you even know what the Bali are or have any idea about them.
I did not succeed on that roll.
You don't. Yeah, that's not a thing that occurs to Alex. That's a bit of a lore. It's not in your experience. This could be a really heavily flesh crafted Zamisi.
Okay.
Like that's the thing that comes to your head.
Can I give it a shot?
You could.
I got 3 successes.
Yeah, the first thing that comes, the thing that comes to your mind is you're pretty sure it's a flesh crafter.
Yeah, which is already the theory I was going on. So
yeah, I will say Bali, super secret, at least in my version of the World of Darkness.
That
which
makes
is
sense.
fine.
They've been gone for a hell of a long time, and the ones that are still around are hiding very.
That makes perfect sense.
Particularly after the canon events of V5 that have happened.
Right.
So yeah,
I really don't want to fuck with this thing without Cadence here.
Well, look, here's the bottom line. If it is something horrible, it would just kill all 4 of us. So it really doesn't matter whether it's here or not.
It's clearly asleep. Go ahead, poke it with the broom. See what I'm talking about. It feels all empty and hollow. Here, poke it.
It really does feel like you're poking an old dead bug.
Like it's like tap him. Look, and I give it like a little tap. There's like nothing in there. There's like no organs. It's dead.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be kindred, in which case it might. He kind of like waves his hand in front of its face from a safe distance.
Nothing.
It's dead. Let's wrap it up in a tarp and look at it, please.
Yeah.
I just have. Oh my god.
Yeah, me too.
I really want. Yeah, I want to. Yeah.
So we're gonna close on and leave it unresolved until next time.
So Cadence can come in and be like, "What the fuck? Where'd you guys get that? Where'd you fucking get this thing, guys?"
Indeed. So thank you guys for playing. Thank you everyone for watching. I apologize once again for the technical difficulties. Our exit is going to be influenced by those technical difficulties, so forgive me by that. But if you're watching it on YouTube, all of that's been taken care of.
Right, we fixed it in post.
We did fix it in post. Absolutely, thanks everyone for playing. If you like what you see and want to support the show, you can subscribe on Twitch. You can give us bits on Twitch. But if you really want to subscribe, help us out, go to our Patreon at patreon.com/Simulacra Studios. That is the best way to support the show and the studio. I want to give a big, huge thanks to all my patrons, especially Mr. James Davey, Ms. Monique Ferrer, Mr. Michael Tyson, Mr. David Haddad, and Mr. Eric Ramos, who are my $5 patrons and thus have earned the lion's share of my love. Does anyone have anything they would like to plug before we say goodbye?
I do.
Oh,
I know.
Yes.
Yep. So I plugged it kind of briefly before, but for everybody, my brother and I are both combat veterans. We both have struggled with PTSD, and we have decided not too long ago we wanted to make a existential horror tabletop RPG that helped kind of show what that struggle is like. So we developed our horror RPG system. It's called the Midnight World, and we try to safely explore those symptoms in a way where we can turn it off at the end. We are demoing. I don't know if any of your listeners are going to Midwinter Gaming Convention in Milwaukee this weekend, but if they are, we're going to be demoing starting Friday at 3:30 p.m. We're going to be going until about 11:30 Friday night, and then again on Saturday from 11:30 a.m. until about 11:30 at night because I'm a madman. If you're going to be at Midwinter Gaming Convention, please drop by, check us out. We've got plenty of slots left. We'd love to play with you. I'd love to show you our game. And we will be launching our Kickstarter in February 14th to be precise.
And here on Simulacra Studios, we haven't settled on the dates yet, but we will be streaming some sessions of the Midnight World for everyone's enjoyment. And we're definitely going to be doing some of that around the time of the Kickstarter. So look forward to that. That's going to be super fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that is.
And you can check us out on Facebook. You can follow us at The Midnight World. And our webpage is a much longer URL that you can find. Just go to the Facebook page.
Yeah, and all those links will be on the YouTube links and available for you. Mo, did you have anything you wanted to talk about?
Yes, on the surprise round Twitch channel, I actually got to play in a one-shot for Valor Academy.
Ooh.
And so if you're interested in seeing me play Valor Academy, go to surprise round at Twitch.
Cool. We'll have a link to that. And I know I'm super looking forward to your review of Night in Question.
It's 3 fucking hours, Scott. I'm having so much trouble editing it.
That sounds like a great thing to listen to at work.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to hear that. Dylan, anything from you?
Not particularly.
Okie dokie. Well, from all of us here at Burn It Down and Simulacra Studios, thanks for watching.
And fuck Nazis.
There we
Fuck
go.
off.
I was waiting for it.
Fuck.
It's during the closing. There's a timing element. Come on.
Absolutely, there is. All right.
It's always right to say fuck Nazis. Don't get me wrong.
It is always right to say fuck Nazis.